everybody, and welcome back to the Blossom Review. How are you? Today we're talking about a bit of a different kind of show. We're talking about TVN's Mad Concrete Dreams, a black comedy that came to an end just last Sunday. Our review today is spoiler free, so if you haven't watched the show yet, don't worry about it. Through a 12-episode journey that often feels like a dire fever dream, Mad Concrete Dreams explores South Korea's obsession with real estate, the mirage of social mobility, and the all-consuming delusions born from human desire. Mad Concrete Dreams introduces us to Soo-jung, played by Jung-woo, and his wife, Soo-jung, played by Soo-jung, as they discuss their current financial situation over breakfast. They own a building, but they are having trouble meeting their mortgage payments and finding new tenants for its offices. To make ends meet and send his daughter to university abroad, Soo-jung has been working all kinds of side gigs, all in secret. Of course, because he has earned the coveted title of building owner, which means that to the rest of the world, Soo-jung now is a lazy millionaire who shouldn't have a single care in the world. Reality is a lot grimmer, but Soo-jung wouldn't dare to share his struggles with anyone else. From the very beginning, Mad Concrete Dreams is an ironic play pretend, in which all its happy-go-lucky participants are constantly hiding a notion of darkness underneath their polite remarks and cheerful exchanges. Our protagonist couple then celebrates Song's birthday with their best friends, Soo-jung's longtime friend Min-hwal-sung, played by Kim Jung-han, and his wife, the wealthy Jung-i-gyung, played by Crystal Jung. It's all about eating, drinking, and being merry, but you can feel tension bubbling underneath as talks of a redevelopment project in the area come to the surface. Every single conversation is about money. Money is the be-all and end-all of their existences. We soon realize that Soo-jung is drowning in debt, a ticking bomb that becomes even louder when everybody he owed money to suddenly sells their loan to this shady corporation called Real Capital. Soo-jung now owes a considerable figure to Real Capital, whose psychopathic representative, Yona, played by Shin Yoon-kyung, coldly gives him an ultimatum. He either pays off his debt in the next few days, or they will repossess his building. Hopeless and without anyone to turn to, Soo-jung has no idea what to do next. That is, until fate intervenes with a twisted little joke. He catches Hwal-sung staging a fake kidnapping in the basement of his building. Hwal-sung asks for his help in exchange for a percentage of the ransom money, which would allow him to liquidate his loan to Real Capital. Could this be the lucky break he's been looking for? Well, Soo-jung decides that yes, that's definitely it. So from here onwards, Mad Concrete Dreams becomes a train wreck that you simply can't look away from, constantly pushing its characters to the extremes of morality to reveal how greed can drive one absolutely insane. Mad Concrete Dreams is a comedy of errors, a darkly humorous narrative composed of a string of wrong decisions, selfish attitudes, and desperate reactions. These characters are constantly devising their own doom, which results in a story of snowballing chaos and absurd scenarios. And that's exactly how Soo-jung's journey is bound to be. Bizarre. We are talking about a universe in which everyone is corrupt. Because our characters' values, or lack thereof, are volatile, changing according to their whims and desires, their chosen solution is always morally questionable, if not completely unacceptable. Their desire starts and ends with money, which Mad Concrete Dreams allows to be an incredibly evasive concept. In the end, is money what these characters truly want? But how much money? How much money is enough to make them feel happy and fulfilled? The illusion of riches shimmers at the end of a very dark and cold tunnel, which Soo-jung heavily treads throughout the series. He keeps on pushing the limits of his own sanity, of his own morals, for something that he can't even define, a glimmer he can barely see, but that he believes will be waiting for him if only he lies one more time, he kidnaps one more time, or he gets rid of one more hurdle. But what makes the world go round in a capitalist society is that dissatisfaction, that greed, that belief that he, as a barely middle-class everyman, will eventually become filthy rich and influential, is what allows the machine to keep creating profit for those whose faces Soo-jung will never even see. He never realizes that he's a mere pawn in a game much bigger and much more powerful than he is. So this hallucination keeps him going and he risks losing himself in the process. Or does he really? In Mad Concrete Dreams, human beings are naturally self-serving, hypocritical and petty. This is a story of anti-heroes who embark on a corruption arc which transforms baddish into bad, then bad into worse, and then worse into unforgivable. While the idea of family makes these people a tad more humane, it's complete havoc from the very beginning. They were never truly good in the first place, so there isn't much to be lost. It is the opposite, actually. There are only traits to be found here. That aloofness, egoism, and immorality, they were always within, and the current circumstances only allow them to manifest themselves fully. In order to feed this quick-paced descent into chaos, Mad Concrete Dreams refuses to drag its conflicts. Issues need to be resolved immediately for the next ones to pop up, ensuring that this psychotic series of events never loses steam. However, in trying to focus on its characters' corruption, the series loses track of its many questions, motivations, and devices, which means that not all the dots will connect. Events won't always be completely sound, even within the flexible boundaries of its universe. Mad Concrete Dreams was surely inspired by Park Chan-wook's and Bong Joon-ho's filmography, but it definitely doesn't have their elegance in its approach and their sharp wit in its humor. It feels rough around the edges, a story that could have been a bit more refined in order to deliver an even harder punch. Characters in Mad Concrete Dreams lack a bit of internal conflict. They are never seen truly fighting a moral battle within themselves, even as they commit the most awful of crimes. The exploration of their internal clashes and contradictions would have created a more well-rounded cast and even helped us recognize ourselves further in these people. The script also falters in its structure, which relies a lot on repetition. A lot of time is spent going over the same events from diverse perspectives, which is an interesting proposition that could have been handled a tad differently. That also leads to a second half that feels much more melodramatic than the first, almost fully replacing the show's black comedy with a dramatic thriller. The madness that offers the series a blend of overwhelming awkwardness and ridiculous tension earlier on gives room to a collection of emotional scenes that feel jarring and out of place considering the overall tone of Soo-jung's tale. Direction, photography, and editing all work very well together to establish the universe of Mad Concrete Dreams, but what makes this show truly shine is the cast's performances. Everybody is excellent, but the series' superstar for sure is the remarkable Shin Yoon-kyung, who becomes unrecognizable as Yona. She is terrifying, disturbing, and subtly funny, an absolute scene stealer every time she's on screen. In Mad Concrete Dreams, we are the architects of our own downfall, foolish beings who become so consumed by greed and despair that morality ceases to exist. The line between ambition and avarice becomes so blurry that each and every one of us can decide what is acceptable or not as we chase endless amounts of money and property, and we are free to sell our conscience to the highest bidder. If you are looking for an insane exploration of the darkest corners of human nature, Mad Concrete Dreams is a mostly effective and superbly performed black comedy that will surely make you reflect on your own desires and principles in a world that often begs us to subvert them. Mad Concrete Dreams is available on Viki and HBO Max, depending on your region. Quick reminder that you can also find this review on the Blossom Review, and over on Substack this week we reviewed a Japanese drama called Silent Truth, which you can find on Netflix. I'll leave all the links in the description if you guys would like to give them a read. Guys, thank you so very much for being here. I really hope that you like this video and you subscribe so I can see you here every week for a new review. Take very good care of yourself and have a lovely day today. Big kiss!